Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Reeltv. I'm your host, Connor Smith.
And I'm also your host, Eric Dowling. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and some intricacies with Marvel, but most importantly, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. We're not going to go too in-depth into it, so there won't be any spoilers to ruin it for you. We're going to go real brief review of the movie. I absolutely loved it. Possibly Marvel's best movie besides The Avengers. A awesome, just spy-themed movie, a lot of espionage, things like that. Not really a superhero movie, but just a really good movie.
You know what I like about it is that I feel like it was very small scale in comparison to
The Avengers,
Thor or The Avengers,
Iron Man,
or any of the Iron Man movies where in The Avengers, New York City's destroyed, aliens ruin everything, or Thor, just so much destruction and rubble, but like Captain America, it was like there was a car chase, and a couple police cars flipped, and like some cars flipped. Like it wasn't like explosions all the time. And, I mean, there were a couple huge action scenes, but most of them took place in the same location at the SHIELD Corporation building headquarters. But I just really liked how small scale it was. I liked how they used SHIELD they really went in depth with SHIELD in this one. SHIELD's also you've always known what it is. It was the organization who who knows the heroes and then they get them to help them, and that's the thing. It's really not that in depth, but I really like how they gave SHIELD a purpose in this one. They gave it an identity. They gave my favorite aspect of the film, which I was just telling you about, is that the film really, Nick Fury, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson, and Black Widow, who's played by Scarlett
Johansson.
You know what I mean. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. Neither one of them really has the character or presence to have their own movie. At least I think a Nick Fury movie all alone would be a little boring.
A Nick Fury movie, if we went into the backstory of how Nick Fury lost his eye, how he became this super, awesome spy. You kind of got a glimpse of it in Captain America, but not the full story. I want to know what happened to his eye, because even in the comic books, they never really tell you. It's just kind of one of those things that you just accept. And it's so interesting. And there's a lot of lore that could be going with it. Also, his grandfather or father in the comic books fought alongside Captain America in the Howling Commandos, which is kind of why he is so close to Captain America in the movies and everything. And it's just a really great, just everything is just so good about how they do it and how they connect the movie universes, and everyone is trying to emulate it now. Everyone, even the other half of Marvel, the 20th Century Fox with
X-Men and
X-Men and
Spider-Man,
and now the Fantastic Four, and there's going to be potentially a Fantastic Four X-Men crossover, and the Sinister Six movie that's going to come out in 2020 or whatever. It's just really interesting. And the teaser at the end of Captain America 2 already has me excited for Avengers 2.
I don't know the comics very well, so
all right, so I'll just explain it just in a very brief way. The two characters that you see are Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, who in the comic books are the son and the twins of Magneto. The only problem is there's some legality issues
they can't use Magneto.
They can't use Magneto or the term mutants. So they're gifted beings who are related, and they're going to have a huge plot role in Avengers 2 with Ultron and the Vision and everything like that. But what specifically, we don't know. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Kick-Ass in the Kick-Ass series, is Quicksilver, and the third Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen, who is, I think, the best of all the Olsens, is going to be Scarlet Witch. So it's going to be awesome, and it's going to get me jazzed for Avengers 2. But it's great. And then also this summer, August 1st, we have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I know Marvel said that they have unveiled plans for until 2028. They have all these movies that they're planning. And you know what? Good for them, because they're making good movies. I liked Iron Man 3. I liked Thor 2. And
also going to be a TV show, Netflix exclusive TV show.
I did know that, yeah.
Which is going to, I think, potentially lead to movies in the future. Because I know that they're using this as a basis. If these characters are popular enough, they'll get their own movie. So like a Black Panther, Luke Cage, an Iron Fist.
And so many movies.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But Guardians of the Galaxy is going to help leapfrog the events from that into Avengers 3, which they're already preparing for. So whether or not we have Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark or Chris Evans as Captain America.
There'll be more heroes.
There will be more heroes, but also we could see a new person as Iron Man, sort of like a James Bond type of transition, because Thanos is going to be a key role in Avengers 3.
Oh, okay.
And Thanos is like the ultimate puppeteer in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And James Gunn is directing it, which I'm super excited about. Because he's this quirky, offbeat type of just out there director. And I think it's really perfect for Guardians of the Galaxy because John C. Reilly is going to be in it as a hero role, and you don't think of him as a superhero because it's John C. Reilly. Step up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome. And then
I feel like even though like they have so many heroes and so many different things going on, I mean, they're developing tons and tons of new characters, new heroes to be in the films, is that even in a film like Captain America 2, it's Captain America's movie, they make references to Tony Stark. They make references to Bruce Banner. And as we were talking about earlier, Black Widow's in it, Nick Fury's in it. So it's not like when like in an Iron Man movie, it's only Iron Man. They really make this franchise as dense but it weaves together really well. It's so nicely put together.
Especially in Captain America 2, there's so many references to other heroes.
Exactly.
Because they made a Stephen Strange reference, and there's Kevin Feige, who is the overall director of Marvel. Like he's like the CEO or whatever for Marvel Disney. His favorite comic book hero is Doctor Strange, who is the master magician or something like that, and he's supposedly the most powerful being in the Marvel universe, and he's finally going to get his own movie. Don't know when, but it's going to be really exciting because they're putting those plans in the process. And then Edgar Wright's Ant-Man is kind of doing its own thing and kind of breaking the traditions of who Ant-Man is, and they're starting in like the middle of the whole Ant-Man saga, and I'm just so excited. Ant-Man, I think I'm almost as excited for as Avengers 2. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm beyond excited for.
I think I'm really excited for Ant-Man because I think the casting is great. Michael Douglas is in it as the villain, right? Paul Rudd. And I love Edgar Wright, love the Cornetto trilogy. And Stephen Price, who did the score for Gravity, is doing the score for Ant-Man. And that's awesome.
And I've seen the test footage and photos, and the costume is perfect.
Really?
It's absolutely what you want.
I have to see that because I feel like an Ant-Man costume would look a little silly. Yeah. Like does he have like little?
Yeah, it looks just like the comic books, which makes me so excited. Okay. And one last thing, Falcon's
awesome.
The best sidekick.
He needs his own movie. I thought Falcon was great. Yeah. Okay, really quickly, that scene when his wing broke off, I just thought that whole last action scene in Captain America 2 was just mesmerizing. And Falcon is an awesome sidekick. Yep. So much better than than Don Cheadle in Iron Man. He's such a dull. Yeah, what's his name? Armor Man. What's his?
War Machine.
War Machine.
Hashtag Falcon movie 2020.
Hashtag Falcon movie, please. All right. Well, later, stay tuned because there's some news coming up and some trivia. But I'm Connor.
I'm Eric.
Thanks for watching.
Have a marvelous day.
Oh, clever.
Welcome back to Reeltv. I'm your host, Adam Murray.
And I'm Kaan Javdiagi.
Next Friday, Transcendence, Heaven is for Real, and A Haunted House 2 are being released in theaters. In Transcendence, a terminally ill scientist, played by Johnny Depp, uploads his mind to a computer. This grants him power beyond his wildest dreams, and soon he becomes unstoppable.
Also in theaters is A Haunted House 2. After losing his beloved Keisha in a car accident, Malcolm, played by Marlon Wayans, starts anew by remarrying Megan, a mother of two. When things begin to get back into their paranormal ways, targeting both the children and the property, things complicate even more when his back-to-life Keisha moves into the neighborhood.
In Heaven is for Real, a small-town father, played by Greg Kinnear, must find his courage and conviction to share his son's extraordinary, life-changing experience with the world.
The Divergent book trilogy certainly drew inspiration from the likes of Harry Potter and The Hunger Games. And now, the movie series starring Shailene Woodley as heroine Tris Pryor is doing the exact same thing. It was confirmed on Friday by Vice Chairman of Lionsgate Michael Burns that the third and final book, Allegiant, will be split into 2 movies. The studio also helmed the Twilight and Hunger Games, so the decision makes sense. Lionsgate Motion Picture Group co-chairman Rob Friedman and Patrick Watchesberger revealed. In a statement, they said, Veronica Roth brings her captivating story to a masterful conclusion in Allegiant, a rich, action-packed book with material that is ideally suited to 2 strong and fulfilling movies.
Following her increased role in X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men franchise producers said that Jennifer Lawrence's Shapeshifter could start her own spin-off. I love what Jen Lawrence has done with her, and I feel like because she is such a crowded ensemble, there's so much more opportunity if you were to follow her solo. X-Men First Class writer-producer Simon Kinberg told Entertainment Weekly in this week's issue. Rebecca Ramjan played the older version of the Naked Blue Mutant in previous X-Men films. Aside from a solo film with Mystique, Lauren Schuler Donner, who produced every X-Men movie, told Entertainment Weekly that Gambit and Deadpool are also worthy of standalone movies. There was a regime at the studio that didn't see the worth in spin-offs, and the current people who run Fox understand, embrace it, and we're going to do right by it, Donner said. I'd like to do Gambit. I'd also like to do Deadpool. We'll see. There's a lot of really great characters.
After another triumphant stint hosting the Golden Globes, dynamic duo Amy Poehler and Tina Fey are teaming up again in a new comedy. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Poehler is in final negotiations to join Fey in the upcoming film The Nest, directed by Pitch Perfect's Jason Moore. The film will feature the pair as sisters who return home to find that their parents' house has been put up for sale and decide to throw one last wild party to say goodbye. Paul Appel, a writer for Saturday Night Live since 1995, who also worked with Fey on 30 Rock and co-produced This Is 40, wrote the screenplay. Fey will serve as a producer on The Nest, and Poehler will be an executive producer.
British actor Peter Mayhew will reprise his role as Chewbacca in J.J. Abrams' forthcoming Star Wars Episode 7, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Mayhew, 69, signaled his intention to play Han Solo's furry Wookiee sidekick once again in September. The actor, who stood 7 feet 3 inches tall in his youth, previously starred as Chewbacca in 4 Star Wars films, the original trilogy that ran between 1977 and 1983, and 2005's prequel, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Disney boss Alan Horn revealed last weekend that Abrams' film has already begun shooting. It was previously reported to be filming between mid-May and September this year, mainly at London's Pinewood Studios. A Christmas 2015 release is planned.
Keanu Reeves has teamed up with filmmaker Eli Roth on an upcoming psychological thriller, Knock Knock. The actor will play a happily married family man whose life is turned upside down when 2 beautiful girls, played by the Green Inferno star Lorenza Izzo and Hands of Stone actress Ana de Armas, show up at his house when he's alone, Deadline.com reported. The film, which has been scripted by Roth, will also star Ignacia Almond, who also starred in Green Inferno as Reaver's wife. And that is the news for the week. Don't touch that mouse because there's more Reeltv to come. Stay tuned. Have a good day.
Hello, welcome back to Reeltv. And now it's time for the part of the show where it's all about movie trivia and the points don't matter. I'm Brian C. Capon, your host. Today we've got some real good questions here, all about like Reeltv trivia. So play along at home. But first, let's meet our contestants.
Hi, my name is Kaan Ajevliagil.
And I'm Ryan Mills.
And I'm Rachel Hine.
All right, and tell us something that you're most interested to see this summer or do this summer.
I am most interested to go back home and spend time with my friends.
I am interested in seeing how Game of Thrones turns out.
I'm interested for all my USA Network shows like Suits and Graceland that are coming back.
I'm looking most forward to finding an internship. All right, so the reason I'm asking about summer is because our questions are about the newest list of summer premieres that just came out, like the premiere list. There are a couple of adaptations to come, along with some new shows that just might surprise you. This week's theme is Guess the Premise. You have to guess what the premise of some of the new shows are, like just by the title. All right, there are 3 questions total. Play along at home. Let's see the first question. Okay, I'll just read it out loud then. All right. First, one of last year's biggest phenomenons on television returns for another bite. Sharknado 2, the second one. Where did the Sharknado gang go to fight another Sharknado in this flick?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The answers are Atlantic City, New York
I
City,
have no idea.
Boston, or Hawaii. Kaan, you got it first.
I'm gonna have to say Hawaii.
Hawaii. Okay. What about the rest of you?
I mean, if you can't choose the same answer, I guess I'm gonna act like I didn't just see the answer, so I'll go Atlantic City.
All right.
I'm gonna act like Ryan too, and I'm gonna say New York because that's where I'm from.
All right. Since we're having some trouble with the prompter, I'll give you all a point because you technically did see it and didn't refuse to see it. It was New York City.
Yay.
But so you all have 1 point just because I'm nice that way.
I was being rude.
All right. All right. We'll just leave the prompter as is, and I'll just read. I'll just read them out loud. All right. Next on Guess the Premise is the ABC family show Young and Hungry. What is the premise of the show?
Oh.
Is it an aspiring young chef goes to cooking school and drama ensues with the other students? 2, a young tech entrepreneur hires a blogger to be his personal chef. 3, a steamy drama comedy about a sexy New York bakery. Or 4, an Eat, Pray, Love aspiree returns from a bad trip and falls in love with one of her hometown friends. Ryan.
I'm gonna go 3 on this one.
New York bakery?
Yes.
Okay. Rachel, you were next.
I can't repeat. I'll go with 1 then, if I can't repeat.
Chef goes to cooking
Sure.
school?
Yeah.
All right, Kaan.
Even though I kind of want to say the Eat, Pray, Love one, I'm gonna have to go with B or 2.
The tech entrepreneur hires a blogger to be his chef?
Yup.
You got it correct!
Oh.
Oh, wow.
How did that
Well
always
done.
happen?
I made all the other ones up.
Interesting.
All right.
How's that a show though? That's
A well-off
Who knows?
tech entrepreneur hires a sassy blogger, Emily Osmond, to work for him as his
no.
personal
Go
chef.
back to Hannah Montana.
Alright.
Yeah.
I mean, if a dog,
All the flashbacks
if a
there.
blog is a show.
And she's grown. And I saw a
Lily.
picture. And I saw a picture. She's grown up a bit. All right. The last question on Guess the Premise is the normal heart. What is the premise of this show? Take a guess. But keep in mind, for this one, every answer is technically true about one new summer premiere. All right.
Okay.
John Malkovich sails the high seas as Blackbeard in the 1700s.
That would be awesome.
A Ryan Murphy HBO show about a gay HIV activist. A visionary in the 1980s experiences the personal computer boom. Or a young woman lives her life while battling her terminally ill diagnosis. Kaan.
I'm gonna go with 2. Or no, 4.
Young woman with terminal illness. Okay. Just go online.
Wait, you said 4?
I said 4.
Yep.
I will go with 3.
The personal computer boom.
Sure.
All right,
Yes.
Rachel.
I will say 2.
Ryan Murphy show. You got it correct.
Yay.
Yep, The Normal Heart is a Ryan Murphy show about a 1980s gay HIV and AIDS activist.
I know.
Ryan Murphy will be directing that one. The John Malkovich pirate adventure is Crossbones, coming to NBC.
that's actual.
The visionary
I actually do wanna see
experiencing
that.
the personal computer boom in the
That's
early
awesome.
1980s is Halt and Catch Fire on AMC. And finally, in Chasing Life on ABC Family, a woman battles a new diagnosis of being terminally ill. Today's winner is a tie between Kaan and Rachel.
Oh.
Kaan, you're still the champion,
sorry,
but now
Ryan.
Rachel, you're a champion. Congratulations.
Yay.
Sorry, Ryan.
Maybe next.
Wah, wah.
I know.
All right, well, great job, guys, and thank you, and I hope you guys had fun playing at home. Well, that's it for us on Real TV. I'm Brian C. Capon. Remember to tune back in to Real TV for the latest in movie and TV news.